Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a video on Tesla actually smart summon, and I'm pulling into a parking lot right now. I was hoping it was going to be pretty busy back here. It doesn't look terrible, but there's plenty of cars and plenty of spots to choose from, and my plan for this video is just to put together a bunch of different clips that I've taken since I got smart summon. Some of them are in pretty busy parking lots, some of them not so busy. Some of them got real funny reactions to them, but the whole purpose is to show you how good this product actually is, how well it works, and hopefully give you some good laughs along the way too. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull forward into this spot, and I'm just going to walk up the road, summon the car to me, see if we can get any good reactions, and see how it does. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the windows down, get all my stuff, and I'll see y'all back in a second. Okay, so I'm about 200 feet away from the car now, and I'm starting to summon it. You can see it backing out of the parking spot that it's in. Does a very good job. Even does a very good job when there's cars parked next to it. So we're shifting into drive now, and coming up on a speed bump. You can see it on the visualization, show the speed bump. Car does a good job slowing down for it, goes over it at a perfect speed. And we can start to see some people up in front of the car heading towards it on bikes, and we get a real funny reaction out of them. So pay close attention to the one furthest away.
What in the world? Cindy!
So we got a couple more people walking up to the left. The lady on the bike actually turns around and comes and chases the car down. And then you can see me up there in the distance.
It's his. It's his.
I would say the car did an excellent job on this summon, and as it's coming to an end, I can see that that lady on the bike wants to talk to me, so I do go over there and talk to her for a little bit.
So you just paged your car to come to you? Is that what you did? That's awesome.
Isn't it pretty cool?
That is very cool.
Yeah, it actually does a pretty good job.
It's your car?
Yeah.
We got the girl back there goes, nobody's in that car! Nobody's in that car!
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really nice on like a rainy day or whatever.
I'm
come pick you up in front of a store.
Okay.
We've been thinking about test driving one.
All right, so that was a pretty good start to the video. When people notice it, the reactions are usually pretty funny. Like she was asking me, so you just paged your car to come to you? And she was talking about how she's going off to look at a Tesla, or wants to go off and look at Teslas. Anybody who's actually stopped and talked to me after seeing it do it, that's like one of the first things that they say is, oh my gosh, I really want one of these. That is so cool. They've got a ton of questions. Always good reactions, it seems like. But what I have realized is some people are just really oblivious. Like a lot of the times you go to a busy parking lot and people will walk right past it and they'll have no idea that nobody's in the car. Sometimes they'll even wave to it because it'll stop and let them walk by, and they'll wave to the car and look right at it and never even realize that there's nobody in it. Or maybe they're just like, oh cool, nobody's in it, and they just keep on going. But anyway, I'm gonna go find some more parking lots to test this out in, and I'll see you back when we get there. Alright, we're back, and we're in a Food Lion parking lot now. I'm gonna walk up to the front of the store in a second, but I wanted to point out before I do that, in the previous revision on 12.5.4, which was the first wide release of actually Smart Summon, I tried summoning from this exact parking spot, and when it backed out, it tried to go to the left and circle around this road that runs through the back of the parking lot, and it ended up doing a public road abort. So this is actual footage of that public road abort happening. Now keep in mind, I'm all the way across the parking lot in front of Food Lion at this point when the car just decides to stop. Even though that's not a public road. So I'm back here again today to see if that issue is resolved. I have tried it since then and it worked fine, but I want to make sure that it's resolved. So I'm going to go ahead and walk up to the front. I don't know that it's going to take that path again. It seems to be like 50-50 whether or not it goes that way or it comes up to the front of the store. But we'll see here in a second and see how the car does. Okay, so I've made it up to the front of the store and I'm starting the summon now. You can see the car is backing out of the parking spot. Now there was nobody parked next to us here, and we can see that it chooses to go the opposite direction. So it's going to go up this row instead of down the road that we had the public road abort on in the footage that we just showed. Now this is not a super busy parking lot, so not too much exciting happening here, but it does do a very good job navigating through. We're coming up to the front of the store now. We're going to be making a left. Does a very good job of just rolling through that. It doesn't come to a complete stop. I like that. It seemed like in the earlier versions of Smart Summon it would come to a complete stop at places like that, but it rolls through very smoothly. Now you can see some people walking in front of the store. They're pretty far away, so it doesn't really have a whole lot of interaction with them. And I'm kind of walking off in the distance, just trying to keep the car going. So you can see it keeps on kind of shifting over as if it's going to park, and I think that's because of how close I am in front of it, and the target just keeps moving. Alright, so it did a good job that time. It did not go through that back way, which I think is partly because of the way that I walked in the parking lot. I kind of walked up that row and then started summoning it a little bit earlier than I usually would. So that might be why, but overall it did a very good job there. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the ta-da sound when the summon is done, just because it calls a lot more attention than what I want to the car, but did a good job on that one. As usual, it seems like as soon as I turn this on, all the people in the parking lot disappear and the parking lot just becomes empty. But I'm gonna keep driving around, find some more parking lots. I'll see y'all back in a sec. Okay, so here we are again. We're back in the same parking lot, same parking spot. I really wanted to verify on camera that the public road abort issue was fixed, so I walked to a little different location before I started the summon. So you can see it back out of the spot, and this is about the point when we had the issue that the car just aborted and stopped, but it seems to be doing a good job here. It pulls right out onto the road, no issues whatsoever, and proceeds to do a pretty flawless summon to the front of the store. Alright, we're back again. This time we're in a Kroger parking lot. Main reason I'm at this parking lot is because the rows only run one way. I don't want to make sure that it pulls out and goes the correct direction. So I'm going to go ahead and walk up to the front of the store, and I will see y'all back in a second. Okay, so here we go again. I'm up at the front of the store and I've started the summon. The car is backing out of the parking spot, and you can see it chooses to head in the right direction. Now when it gets to the end of this row, pay attention to how good of a job it does turning left to go in front of the store. Once again, it sees that the path is clear and just rolls right through without coming to a complete stop. Really good behavior to see. Now when we get up here, you'll see some pedestrian interactions, and we make some people pretty happy to see the car driving itself. Okay, doing a very good job so far. You can see it slowing down for that speed bump just like it should.
and I'm up here right at the end of the row of stores.
Okay, everything seemed to be good on that one too. Not a super busy parking lot here, but it did take the right direction up that one way, which I kind of expected it to based off of where I parked, but seems like all of its interactions were good, and we'll go ahead and go find another lot. Okay, we're in a Walmart parking lot now. Hopefully this one will be interesting. Walmart parking lots are always pretty hectic. So I'm gonna make my way up to the front of the store, and I'll be back in a minute.
Alright, so here we go at Walmart. And I can tell you right now, I am extremely nervous because Walmart parking lots are usually pretty packed and hectic, but the car's pulling out of the parking spot and it's heading up towards me. Now as usual, I'm already up in front of the store at this point, but if we look off in the distance, we can see a family coming towards the car, and the kids are very excited to see the car driving itself. And once we get past them, we'll hear another guy yell out in the distance that sees the car driving itself. Always good to see it make kids smile. Now pay attention to the SUV backing out of the parking spot. The car does a good job of stopping and waiting for them, and you'll see the man that yells out here in a second. He's kind of off in front of where that SUV was. Now the car's doing a great job here. It did a great job waiting for them very patiently. Traffic's a little bit hectic up here. It's got to turn left to come to where I'm at. So it waits for these cars to go. Where you can see this one is turning in the row next to us. And you can even see my steering wheel kind of turn to the right to give them a little bit of room. That's very good behavior. You can see it does a very good job asserting itself. It took the right of way there and went ahead and went. The guy coming out of the store wasn't quite close enough for us to stop and wait on him, so I think the car made the right choice.
Alright, seems like you did an awesome job on that one. It's kind of hard to tell through your phone sometimes, especially when you're walking and you're trying to get up to the front of the store while summoning. It's kind of hard to tell what the car is seeing. I think it had some interactions with pedestrians, but I did see it have to stop for a car that was backing out. I don't know why this camera keeps wanting to cut off in the middle of me recording, but like I was saying, I did see the car have to stop and wait for a car that was backing out of its parking spot, and it did a great job with that. So overall, A+ in the Walmart parking lot. I think I'm gonna head over to Kroger now, and I will see y'all back when I get there. Alright, we're at the Kroger parking lot. I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to the front of the store, and I'll see y'all back in a minute.
Okay, so here we go again. I've started the summon, and the car is backing out of the parking spot. I do want to point out we are at a different Kroger than we were at before. So we backed out, now we're moving forward. We can see some pedestrians up here in the distance. But what I do want you to pay attention to in this clip, when we get up here and we're getting ready to turn left in front of the store, you can't really see it, but a black SUV stops and waits for us to go, and actually gives a hand signal to the car, kind of waves to the car for us to move. You can't really see it in the camera frame, but the car does a good job. As soon as he stops and gives the right of way to us, the car takes it and goes. And you'll see that SUV briefly as we pass by him. So here we are in front of the shopping center. We do get quite a few pedestrian interactions through here. Now one notable one, once we get up in front of the Kroger, there's a father walking out with his two kids, and you can't tell whether or not they're going to stop or walk, so the car kind of pauses for a second at the stop sign, starts to move, but then they walk out in front of the car. And at first in the distance when I was looking, it kind of scared me. It looked like they were getting a little bit close, but rewatching the footage, it looked like it did a pretty good job. Coming up to a speed bump, as usual, does a good job, goes over it at a good speed, slows down, lets the man pushing the carts come by. Now, one thing I really like about this interaction is the car starts creeping forward before he's even completely out of the way, which does a really good job showing intention.
Okay, once again, seemed to do a great job. I can see some people in my rearview mirror staring at the car. Like I said, these reactions are always pretty priceless, but yeah, seemed to do a good job there. I saw it have a couple different interactions. There was actually a car that stopped and waited for it to pull out, I believe. I'm interested to see if they were doing any kind of hand signaling or anything. But it did a great job confidently pulling out when they gave it the right of way. It did a great job in front of all the pedestrians that I saw it interact with, so overall, so far for this video, the car is doing great. Now, there will be some clips in this video that weren't filmed today. I'll try to, I'll put some kind of designation up on the screen letting you know that those are previous clips. But, yeah, overall, very good. I think I'm just going to pull up somewhere up here in this same parking lot and try again. So let's pull down this row real quick and I'll park and we'll give it another shot.
So now we're in the same parking lot, we're just a little bit farther down at a different store. Not really a whole lot of traffic down here, a whole lot of pedestrians, nothing too crazy during this one. But what is notable on this one is where the car decides to stop at the end when it completes the summon.
Alright, overall, that was pretty good. I guess my only complaint on that one would be that it kind of just stopped in the middle of the parking lot instead of pulling over where the yellow lines were. And I guess technically that's a fire lane. I don't know if pulling over there is illegal or not. I'm not really sure what the laws are on that, but I would have preferred it to have come over and come all the way up to the curb and met me there. But other than that, I mean, it did a great job. Didn't really have much interaction. So I think the next place we're headed to, I've been avoiding this one for a while now, but I really want to do a Costco video. So I think that's where I'm headed next, unless I come across another good parking lot before then. But I think we're going to go ahead and do a Costco video today. So as far as I know, that's where I'm headed to, like I said, unless I find somewhere else. So I'll see y'all back in a few minutes, and hopefully I'm still alive. Hopefully my nerves don't get to me too bad. And we'll see if it can handle it. Alright, so we're at Costco. I'm extremely nervous right now. I've parked in a pretty challenging parking spot all the way up against the back of the parking lot. I have no idea what route this is going to take. My heart's pretty much beating out of my chest. I hope this camera doesn't mess up because this is the only time I plan on doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and walk up to the front of the store, summon the car, and I will see you back in a few minutes.
Alright, here we go at Costco. Now, if you thought my nerves were bad in the Walmart parking lot, that doesn't even begin to compare to how nervous I am here. Now, you can see to the right of us, there's a lady pulling into the parking spot in her SUV, and she's trying to get situated correctly in the parking spot. And we start to back out now that she's parked, and you can see her through the window looking at us. And my car stops for a moment, it sees some cars passing by, and lets them go behind us. Now, where I'm parked at puts the car in kind of a weird position where it's got to do, I believe, a 3-point turn to get turned around and come up to the front of the store. And pay close attention to my phone recording right now. You can see it start to lose connection at this point, and the car just decides to stop in the middle of the parking lot. Now, this is not a good place to stop. There were some people behind us, and something really needs to be done to correct this issue on Tesla's end. Now, when I say that this is an issue that needs to be fixed on Tesla's end, I obviously understand that they can't fix the poor connection issues in this area. I think what they need to work on is how the car handles a lost connection. So when you lose connection, all the cameras are still operating on the car, and it can still see its surroundings, and it should be able to pull up and move out of the way, so it's not blocking the parking lot, blocking any cars or any other pedestrians in the area, and I think that would make handling aborts much safer.
Trying to scare me?
That's funny. Have a good one.
Okay, that's a first.
Okay, that did not work out very well. The car pulled out and stopped for some reason. I have no idea why. It just said connecting on the phone and then wouldn't keep moving. So, of course, that seems to always happen when I have somebody around, and that was going to be like a perfect one because there was a lady getting out of the car and she was like totally tripped out by it. But we're going to try it again. Admittedly, that is one of my biggest fears with Summon, is it doing something like that where it just loses connection. Now, it hasn't done that to me before. It did it once in a parking garage, actually, but yeah, having that happen in a Costco parking lot, like, that can't happen if Summon is going to be a viable thing. But anyway, I'm going to go try it again. Maybe that was just a fluke, hopefully so. Alright, we're back in the parking spot, round 2. Let's see if I can get it this time. Still very nervous.
Alright, so here we go with round 2. We're going to sit here for a minute because there's a bunch of cars coming up behind us that we're going to let go by. I believe here in just a second there will be one more truck that goes by, and then we'll slowly start to back out of the parking spot. Now, I can tell you I'm even more nervous this time around because I've already had one failure in the parking lot, and it's extremely busy at this time of day. So we're starting to creep backwards now. Now, this is about the point where in the previous attempt it aborted and just sat in the middle of the parking lot, but it's doing better this time around. So it kind of slows down, lets the lady with the cart pass by. Now you can see it doing the 3-point turn to get turned around and head up towards where I'm at. Now, I'm still actually standing in this row because I wanted to be kind of close just in case it aborted again. I didn't have to run as far. But like I said before, we're off to a little bit better start this time around, and it seems like everything is going well. Now, at this point, I thought this was going to be a successful run, and I was pretty excited to get it because there was a bunch of people in front of the store at this point. But if you look at my screen recording, you can see that we've lost connection and the car is stalled now.
Okay, so Costco parking lot is a fail. Both times, as hopefully you'll be able to see on my screen recording, the car loses connection and it can't complete the summon. So that's not good. This is a very busy parking lot. I kind of got lucky both times that it didn't get stuck in a very busy spot. But yeah, that's probably one of the biggest issues I've had so far. Like I said, I've had a couple of different ones where like one time it got stopped, or it aborted because of a blocked camera. Another time it aborted because it thought it was going onto a public road, but I haven't had it just blatantly lose connection in a parking lot like that yet. Now, it did start off strong that time around. It had to do like a 3-point turn to get turned around and come down the road that I wanted it to, but yeah, tried it twice and it couldn't complete it. So I'm gonna go around. I might find 1 or 2 more parking lots on my way back home, shoot some clips in those, and then we'll call it a video. All right, everybody, it's the next day. Against my better judgment, I just couldn't leave it alone. I've got to get a video in this Costco parking lot, and I think after messing around with it a little bit more yesterday, there was just something going on with the car, because I went to a different parking lot after I tried Costco and it was still having connection issues, and then I did a hard reboot on the car, and when it came back on, it didn't regain connection for like 20 or 30 minutes after that. So usually after a hard reboot, it'll take about a minute or 2 and then it'll reconnect. So anyway, like I was saying, I think there was just an issue with the car yesterday. One way or another, we're about to find out. So I'm already here. I'm gonna go find a parking spot that's pretty difficult, if I can even find one. It's slam packed today, as it always is, but once I find a parking spot, we'll be back and we'll see if it can do it today. Okay, so I found the parking spot that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna go ahead and get parked, get all my stuff ready, and give it another shot. Just like yesterday, I am extremely nervous. And I'm actually looking at my phone right now and it's already having issues connecting again. So this might not be a great idea. Okay, hopefully you can see it on my screen now. I've got full 5G signal right now, but it just will not connect. So I might not be able to do a Costco video. I don't know if it's because there's so many people here. I've had it before on my phone where if I'm in like a really busy area, I just can't get a connection. Let me see if the car's 4G is working. Yeah, I mean the car's got LTE. Okay, so it looks like it's connected now. Alright, I'm going to give it a shot. Maybe.
Alright, so we're moving on round 3 now, and we're backing out of the parking spot. Now, I'm a couple spots away from where I was in the previous 2 attempts just because the other spot was taken. But nonetheless, this is still a good spot to test because the car still has to pull out and do a 3-point turn to get down the road that it needs to go down. So you can see it performing that move now. You can see some cars coming up in front of it. I can only imagine what's going through their mind as they pause and wait for a car that has nobody in it. But it's doing a really good job up until this point, and I was having a whole lot of hope that it was going to work this time around. So you can see me up in front of the car. I'm kind of running away now, just like yesterday. I wanted to stay kind of close just in case something happened. I didn't have to run too far. And just like in the second attempt, things were looking real promising up to this point. Now you can't really tell too much right now, but there's a lot of people watching the car. We're coming up to the end of this row, and pay attention to the screen recording on my phone, because right about now we start losing connection again. And the car is once again aborted.
We just saw it, and I was like, look, it pulled up.
Isn't it pretty cool?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it'll come like all through the parking lot, come pick you up from the front of the store. It's a pretty cool feature, but I'm gonna get out all these people's way.
okay.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Oh, wicked.
Isn't it cool?
That's cool shit.
I tell you what, it's still nerve-wracking as hell to use though.
I'm sure.
Have a good one. Okay, so I think I'm gonna give up my dream of doing the Costco parking lot. Okay, back again. I'm not giving up. Now I'm going to the other side of the store. I'm wondering if maybe it's just that section of the parking lot. So I'm gonna go try this other side. I think it's equally as busy, and we'll see if I still have connection issues over here. I really want to go to another parking lot after this and see if it's just the car or what, but I did stop on the way here in an empty parking lot and tried it, and it seemed to work fine. So I don't think it's the car. I think it's how busy this parking lot is. I'm not sure. If you got any idea if it's happened to you, let me know down in the comments, because I'm very interested in why I keep having the same problem here. Alright, so once I find a parking spot, I'll be back and we'll try it again. Alright, here we go. I'm pulled up in front of the gas pumps now. I'm going to go walk up the road to where I can still see it just in case something happens, and we're going to give it another shot.
So here we go with round 4 at Costco, and as you can probably tell, I really didn't want to give this up. I wanted to get a successful video at Costco. So we're starting to back out of the parking spot now, and in order to get to where I'm at, it's going to have to cross a road that's usually pretty busy in the parking lot. So we're starting to move forward now, and we're coming up to the road that I was talking about a second ago. And it doesn't look like there's too much traffic. I think it should just be able to go straight through here. And just like in the previous videos or the previous clips at Costco, I'm actually walking through this road because I'm being very cautious based on the last 3 failures. But everything seems to be off to a promising start this time. Coming up to a stop sign right in front of the store, but then once again start looking at my screen recording and you can see we're losing connection again.
Hey, get out of the way.
And right about there the car aborts.
How's it going?
Is that your car? That is so cool.
Yeah, isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come like pick me up from the front of the store and whatnot. But y'all have a good one.
Okay, so after that 4th failed attempt, I did go ahead and call it quits and decided not to push my luck too far. I was pretty disappointed because I really wanted to get a successful run through the Costco parking lot, but it just wasn't going to happen at this point. I did drive around in the general vicinity around Costco and a couple of other stores nearby, and it took me a little while to realize that the connection on my car was actually going in and out. It seemed like about every 10 seconds it would go from 4G to having no connection at all, and I think that's what was causing the problem. So I filmed these videos about a week before I'm recording this audio, and I've been back to the Costco parking lot since then, and it seems like that issue is no longer happening. So I am planning at some point to go back and do a redemption run. My nerves just aren't ready for it yet. But anyway, if you've watched the entire video and you enjoyed it, I definitely appreciate you. Feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if you have anything specific or any parking lots specifically that you want me to go to, just let me know and I'll give them a shot. As I said before, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.